here. I'm Lana Freshley. I am the coordinator of Prospective Student Services here in the College of Arts and Sciences, and my specialty is the social sciences. I'm a two-time grad of Oklahoma State University, first in strategic communications, which is a social sciences degree, and then I recently received my higher education master's degree here at OSU as well. So I'm excited to talk to you all today about all the cool majors that we have within our social sciences program. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to go through these individually so that you have a chance to see which ones you might be interested in. And the cool thing is, at the end of the session today, we're going to have an opportunity for everyone to ask questions. So on the chats, feel free to go ahead and enter any questions that you might have. We have Caitlin Shelton Justice. So Caitlin, you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and say hi so everyone can see you?
Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well today.
So, and Caitlin, tell us a little bit about who you advise.
So I currently work with our multidisciplinary studies students as well as pre-psychology students. So that's typically the cohort that I work with every semester. So I'm very familiar with any kind of questions around those, so don't hesitate to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And I'm sure a lot of you are psychology students. So Caitlin is very used to those kind of questions. So if you have anything related to psych or obviously any of the other majors, she's happy to help during the chat today. Oops. All right. Well, like we said, we hope that you can connect with us on our social media platforms, but this is also a good screen to take a screenshot of because it has a website on here. So casinfo.okstate.edu /junior-day. And this is going to have all of our resources from Junior Day to Day. It's going to have a lot of those links we pasted in the chats earlier. Dr. Martindale talked about some resources like pre-professional tutoring, things of that nature. And all of that's going to be actually on the website. So feel free to check that out after today. Right now, it currently has all of the videos from last year, but we're hoping to update those within the next few weeks for this presentation. All right, starting off our majors here, we have Communication Sciences and Disorders. And this is a degree that's going to be the undergraduate degree for going on to either speech pathology or audiology. Here at OSU, we do have a speech pathology graduate level program. So students that choose to stick around and do that program can go ahead and stay here at OSU. And then I know there's an audiology program at OU if that's something that you're interested in doing. Communication Sciences and Disorders also has a living learning program. So if you haven't heard about these awesome programs, there's a certain floor usually in a living hall, and I think this one's in the Village, but you can find out more on Res Life's website, and it will tell you all about the different ways to build community within this living learning program. So all the Communication Sciences and Disorders students that choose to live on this hall will have study groups together. They do different programming throughout the semester, and it's a really good opportunity to meet other people in the program. Next, we have economics. So you may be familiar, we have an economics option over in the college, the Spear School of Business, but we also have one here in the College of Arts and Sciences. And this is perfect for students that are wanting to possibly do a double major. Maybe you're wanting to do pre-med and you're needing all of those extra prerequisites to get into medical school. This is a really great major because it's not going to have those 25 core business hours that Spears requires. So instead, you're able to plug those in with arts and humanities, that you may want to take different courses, or like I said, you could double up and do a double major with the economics program. Next up, we have the Department of Geography, and we have quite a few cool degrees within geography. So we have the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science, and then we have Business Essentials, Pre-Law, and Pre-Ministry. So these are really cool. So this is a good chance for me to tell you a little bit about the differences between a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science. So the Bachelor of Arts is going to require foreign languages. So maybe that's Spanish 1, Spanish 2, French 1, French 2, American Sign Language 1 and 2, whereas Bachelor of Science is going to require more science and math-based courses. So just depending on what you're passionate about or what you feel more comfortable with, then maybe you might want to take one path. So maybe a foreign language path would take you to the Bachelor of Arts, or a more math and science-based path will take you Bachelor of Science. And if you have questions about that, let us know, and we'd be happy to talk about what what path best suits you based on what you're wanting to do career-wise, or if you're wanting to go to graduate school. One more thing on this geography, I was going to mention that the business essentials option is really cool. So you might be thinking, what is that? How does that relate to geography? But you'll see this option on a few of our different degrees here in the College of Arts and Sciences. And that's actually quite a few business classes. So this is actually going to be all your prerequisites to go on to an MBA or a Master's of Business Administration. So we have that here at OSU. And so if you're interested in going on for that master's program, we do have an opportunity to complete your undergraduate and that MBA in 5 years with this business essentials option. But if you want more information about that, let us know and we'd be happy to talk about that. We have geospatial information sciences, and this degree is going to be for students that might be interested in drones, or if you're interested in doing mapping. So this is a really cool program. It's also known as GIS, and students have the opportunity to work with GPS systems as well. A lot of students will go on to get like jobs within the government. That's a really popular path for the GIS degree, but then there's also public sector jobs as well. So let us know if you have questions about that. This is in our geography department. So if you're already interested in geography and maybe you're interested in a little bit more of math and sciences as well, this might be a good degree program for you. Next, we have global studies, and this is one of our newer programs that we've started within the last couple years here, and it is going to encourage a lot of global competency. So learning about our globe and learning about the different cultures that are surrounding us and different ways business is conducted. This is a great program for students that have really enjoyed missionary work or volunteering or are interested in study abroad. That's something that's encouraged within our global studies program, is to study abroad. So if you're really interested in learning more about different parts of the world and how cultural competency works, this would be a great major for you. Next, we have the School of Media and Strategic Communications, and we have 3 different degree programs within this area. So we have multimedia journalism, sports media, and strategic communications. The multimedia journalism is going to be geared towards students that may want to be in front of the camera, maybe behind the camera. Maybe you're interested in doing more writing, so you're interested in doing more journalistic work on the writing end. Then we have the sports media. So sports media is obviously going to be where it focuses more on the sports end of the media production. And then that's going to also be in front of the camera or behind the camera, just depending on what you're wanting to focus on. And then we have strategic communications, and that's going to be more public relations and advertising based. And we actually have an option that I forgot to add on here that's brand new, and it's an option within strategic communications for advertising and public relations. And then we also have one for social media. So if those are 2 things that you're interested in, let us know, and we'd be happy to send you the links on that, on what requirements exist for that, or what other classes you may be able to take within media. For political science or poli-sci, we have a few options here. So we do have that BA/BS option. Like I said before, that's going to be, the differences are going to be foreign languages for that Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts, and then the math and sciences for that Bachelor of Science program. We also have pre-law, so if you're interested in doing that. And then we have practical politics, and then campaigning, lobbying, and policymaking. That's all one new program. So if you're interested in doing campaigning and lobbying, that option's just going to have a lot of classes that are focused on those areas. So maybe you do want to do a pre-law option. You can still take campaigning classes or lobbying or different things that our faculty are offering. But this is a great one if you want something prepackaged that's already going to focus on the campaigning, lobbying, and policy making side of political science. Next up, we have psychology. So I know we have quite a few students here interested in psychology. And like I said, Caitlin is here today, and she does pre-psych majors. So that is how we do our program here at OSU. So if you are interested in getting involved in psychology, you do have quite a few options as well. So we do have that Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science option, that business essentials. So like we said before, that goes into an MBA. So that's going to be all those business prerequisites. We have pre-law, which will take you on and to have all those prerequisites to go on to law school. We have pre-med, so all the prerequisites to go on to medical school. So that could be a DO or an MD program, just depending on what you're interested in. And then the two at the bottom here are newer programs that we've added within the last year. The first one is pre-occupational therapy, and then we have pre-physical therapy. And both of these are going to be the prerequisites to either go on to occupational therapy or physical therapy graduate school. So, where psychology is the study of the individual mind, sociology is the study of groups of people. So, this may be something that you're interested in doing. So, anthropology is going to be the study of groups of people in the past or over history. So, maybe you're interested in working for a museum, or you're wanting to do something with different regions or knowing about the history of things. This would be a really great program. For those of you that are interested in maybe going into law enforcement, maybe forensics, applied sociology is going to have a lot of those courses available for you. And then we also have the pre-law and then the pre-med options for sociology. So those are the majors today. And then we also have great ways to get involved on campus. So we have over 500 clubs and organizations here at Oklahoma State University, and 80 of those are within the College of Arts and Sciences, and they're academic based. And then we also have some fun clubs too. One of our funner clubs that's not related to necessarily academics, but it's student council. So they're in charge of doing our autumn arts gala, 3-minute thesis, and a lot of philanthropy. So you'll be able to see a lot of those students around campus. We also have different clubs and organizations that are interest-based. So if you have something that you're interested in and you don't see that on our campus, you actually can work with our campus life department, and they can help you get in touch with a faculty advisor, and you can start your own club. So that's a really good way to get involved by joining these clubs and organizations, or go ahead and take leadership positions within existing clubs and organizations or one that you start. You can also participate in the arts here in the College of Arts and Sciences, and you actually don't have to be a major. So if you have been passionate about band in high school, or maybe you were involved in choir, or you were in theater and that was something you really enjoyed, you can actually have the opportunity within theater and in our music program to participate on and off stage without having a major. So outside of the major, so you don't have to necessarily do a minor or the major to participate. So you've heard of our great cowboy marching band. You can participate in that without have to actually be a music major. So a lot of students will want to do that minor, and we're happy to share that information with you as well. And then, like I said, for theater, you can also participate on and off stage, and you do not have to be a major. So you can check out both of those opportunities at music.okstate.edu and theater.okstate.edu. We have a great opportunity for students to take Cowboy Concurrent online classes. So if you are from Oklahoma, you actually have the opportunity to take these classes for free your senior year. So you may want to take a screenshot of this. You can see that website down here at the bottom. Oops, sorry, cast.okstate.edu. /cowboy_concurrent. And that's actually going to, and like I said, maybe take a screenshot so you can save this for later, especially since if you all are juniors, this is for your upcoming year. So you can take a lot of different courses that will actually transfer seamlessly into the College of Arts and Sciences or any of the OSU majors. And then they also will help with going ahead and getting you familiar with that cowboy family that we have here at OSU. And then if you're out of state today, we do have that information here as well. And there's more information on the website. So feel free to check that out if you're interested in taking concurrent classes, either over the summer or in the fall or spring next year. So I'm sure you're thinking, what are your next steps moving forward from here for applying to OSU and making sure you cross off all those things on your to-do list? So we hope that you can visit campus. We have a beautiful campus here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and we're so excited to be able to start sharing that with you all again as this pandemic starts to rise, and then we're able to go ahead and have you on campus again and see all the beautiful things we have. And then we hope that you can apply to OSU and declare that College of Arts and Sciences major. Dr. Martindale talked a little bit about scholarships earlier, and declaring a major is really important so that you qualify for all levels of scholarships. So those university, college, and departmental levels of scholarships. And then lastly, we hope that you can connect with us. So this is a great slide to go ahead and take a screenshot of as well. We would love to talk to you one-on-one. We know all of you have different dreams and goals, and you have different journeys that you're wanting to do, and you all have unique experiences. I know quite a few students are bringing in college credit, and that applies to some part of your journey going to OSU. And we'd be happy to talk to you about how that works. And then also different, maybe you're wanting to do a double major or you're interested in a minor. We want to hear all about it and talk to you individually. So go ahead and reach out on this form. It'll just have you fill in some basic information, your first, last name, maybe what you're interested in studying, and then you send over your email and we'll reach out to you, me or one of the other recruiters, and we'd be happy to talk to you a little bit more about your goals. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up to questions. We have about 10 minutes. So me and Caitlin are both on the line and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you all have. So a couple things I do want to talk about. I don't know if you all are interested in study abroad, but I know Dr. Martindale talked a little bit about that earlier, but we do have those short-term and long-term study abroad options available. So if you're interested in doing that, don't feel like you have to go for an entire semester. You can actually do ones that go over winter intersession, maybe over spring break. Those are really popular, or even over the summer. All right, what questions do you all have? Do you have any, oh, sorry, have any questions about campus life? All right. Hi, Robert. So if there's, Robert asked if there's any scholarships for on-campus concurrent students. So I don't believe there are for on-campus students. Caitlin, are you aware of any scholarships for on-campus?
Not at this time. I may recommend talking to probably admissions or scholarships and financial aid about specific ones.
Definitely. Talk to your admissions counselor and they would be happy to. Yes, Caitlin asked on the line, can I apply as a junior or do I need to wait until senior year? So junior applications actually open July 1st. So you'll have the chance over the summer to start that application. We talked a little bit, and I'm sure you heard this in an earlier session, but we do have those optional essay questions. And those are going to be really important for you to fill out because that's actually your scholarship essays as well. So make sure that you complete that. Just because it says optional, we definitely want that so that you're fully qualified for all those scholarships. Great question. Yes, Jacob, you will be able to find the other presentations actually on our junior day website. I'm going to actually back up here so you all can see that slide again. And there will be a lot of different resources on the junior day website that you can find. There it is. So it's CAS info. I'll actually just put it in the chat for you here. Oops, I definitely spelled it wrong. Let me correct that for y'all and I'll resend it. There we go. So I'm seeing the question about economics versus political science. So one of the cool things about going to law school is there's no definite path that you have to take. Because if you think about it, we need all kinds of lawyers, right? We need lawyers that have studied media, political science, economics, chemistry, even any of the sciences. So the biggest thing about going to law school is getting those prerequisites, which is basically some math and logistics classes, making sure that you can problem solve. And then one of the biggest elements for going on to law school, other than your grades and how you answer the essay, is also the interview. So those are things that we help you with in the pre-professional office here on campus. So that's a great question with your economics. So just depending on what you're wanting to do, that would be a great opportunity to go ahead and do those law school classes. And then if you were wanting to, you could even do a poli-sci economics double major if that's something you were interested in. But like I said, I know that you're situation's unique. So if you want to reach out to us, we'd be happy to set up a one-on-one appointment and see what that looks like for your future and what classes you're bringing in. Great question. And while we're on that topic, I know Dr. Martindale talked a little bit about this, but for pre-med, I know we have a lot of students that are interested in going on to medical school. You also don't have to necessarily have to have a certain major. So you could be a music major and go on to medical school. It will take you a long time. So that might take you 6 years for your undergrad, but it is possible. But that's a good example because that's the point is you can do any major you want and go on to medical school as long as you're getting those prerequisites. Obviously, some majors are going to work better than others, and that's one of the reasons our departments have put those pre-med options on those certain degree paths. So for those of you interested in either doing like psychology or sociology, those have pre-med paths available. So those are really good options as well. Any other questions? We have a few more minutes. And for those of the students in the room that are interested in different communities on campus, we have a really great Sovereign Nations for Native American students on campus. And that's actually in the College of Arts and Sciences building, Life Sciences East. And they have a great community. They bring in a lot of speakers, and then they have different activities. A lot of they will do Native American Awareness Week, and they do all kinds of things like that. So, and then we also have Africana Studies that will be renovating some space in Life Sciences East that will give other students opportunities to hang out. They'll probably do events as well. Great question, Anna. So Anna asked, if I'm considering being a psychology major, what classes would you recommend I take as concurrent students senior year at OSU? So this is a really great question. And Anna, I would be happy to talk to you one-on-one as well. And I'll put that link in the chat. Let me find it. Actually, if you want to screenshot it, let me put it that screen up again while we talk a little bit about concurrent. It's always good and it's always beneficial if you continue with math and sciences regardless of your major, because those are really important for going on to different math and sciences. So as a psychology major, that's really going to help advance you and make sure your skills are sharp in math and sciences moving forward. So one thing that we require of our students for their coming into OSU is what we call a math placement exam. So if you've taken a math in your in your high school years, that might help you with the math placement exam. And the cool thing about the math placement exam is it is completely free. So, and don't worry, like it's not like it's going to affect any grades or anything that you have once you get to OSU. It's just for us to help to understand where you are on a math level so that we can best help you with any resources and then also getting those credits that you need. So, in mapping out what we call academic planning. So seeing which classes you need moving forward. So math and sciences are always great no matter what classes you take. Humanities can be okay if that's something you're interested in, but I would be really mindful of what humanities classes you take because it may take away some really cool classes at OSU that you could take. I know that especially with psychology, some of those classes can kind of cross over. And you might miss the opportunity to take something with a faculty member that you really enjoy as well. Oh, great question, Leah. So Leah asked, are undergraduates in psychology allowed to participate in professor research, and what would that look like? So at OSU, we are really strongly excited. We are so excited about research. So we are a research institution here, and you actually can start getting involved in research your freshman year. So if you are familiar with research or you're not, it actually takes a lot of research and or different paperwork that you have to fill out. There's a lot of processes. There's whole ethics on how you can do research, on who you can do research to. So by getting involved your freshman year, you can start working with either graduate students or faculty members, just depending on who's doing what within within the department, and you can actually start getting involved in that process and learning how to do research. So regardless of what you're wanting to do long term, it's a great learning process to be with any faculty member and be able to kind of see how their research process works. So being a research institution, we have so many faculty that want to help students with their research. So really, once you get to campus and you find a faculty member that you want to work with, you can actually work with them individually and ask if you can get involved in their research, or if they know any graduate students that you might be able to connect with. Okay, so I see that we have a question about law-based clubs such as mock trial does OSU offer? So we do have the pre-law club, and it's not going to be really a mock trial base. I think the closest thing we have to that is the ethics club, and they do an ethics bowl every year. So that would be something close where you're debating different issues based on an ethical. So this year, the theme I believe is biomedical, but every year it changes and you have a different scenario that students can talk about. But then we also have that pre-law club, and I bring that up, and then also the pre-professional resources again. And I bring up that because they actually do like mock interviews and things of that nature. It's not going to be the same obviously as a mock trial, but that might be something that you actually take to campus life, and maybe you create something like that. So if you were interested in creating a club where you guys start mock trials, you could work with a faculty member who is interested in that and start something similar. So, but yeah, pre-law club, and then the ethics bowl would probably be the ones that are existing now that you might be able to be involved in. All right. Any last questions? We are on our last little bit of time here. Okay, thank you all so much for coming today. Once again, we are happy to talk to you about any of your dreams and goals and how that fits into your life here at Oklahoma State University. At this time, if you're interested in going to the Honors College session, you can jump out of this session and go back to your event agenda and go to that Honors College session. If you are not interested in that, that's the last event of the day and you are all set. We appreciate you coming to our event, and we hope that we get to see you on campus soon. Thank you so much, and go Pokes.